Big week in Indianapolis. Jaguars coming up this weekend. First place on the line in the AFC South. Had a chance to catch up with Shane Steichen, hear what he thinks about Anthony Richardson. Maybe a return this season, maybe not a return this season. Talking about Andrew Ogletree, the ability of getting Jonathan Taylor and Zach Moss kind of equivalent snaps, figuring out how to work that run game, and Gardner Minshew. Gardner Minshew's a big deal this week. He's going to have to find a way as the starter to get that offense going and keep it going.
All right, I'll start off. As you guys know, we put Anthony on IR. He's out a minimum of 4 weeks. We'll continue to evaluate that process. Don't have a timetable right now for his return.
Do you expect him to return though?
We'll see. We're still evaluating with the doctors and stuff.
Surgery still an option?
Again, yeah, we'll see everything. We'll look at everything. We'll see what happens, what the doctors say with the final deal.
Yeah. I mean, is there a scenario where he does not play this year?
Like I said, I don't know that.
Okay.
We're still evaluating. Just the doctors, see what the doctors say.
Just Gardner, he has. I think when the confidence that the team has in him, I guess is what I'm saying. I mean, they always have confidence in their quarterbacks from practice, but he's done it in the games already. Like you're not starting from scratch, I guess, with developing that rapport in the games. Does that matter much, you think?
No, I think, he's played a good amount of football in this league, and as you guys have seen, obviously the Baltimore game he started, came in against Houston, obviously he came in again. He's played at a high level. We just got to continue that. The preparation is going to be huge this week for our football team, but again, a lot of confidence in Gardner. I know this football team has that too.
I know it's obviously a loss here. We're not having AR for the next 4 weeks possible. Having Gardner there, does it kind of ease the stress level in a way, knowing that you got someone who's come in and maybe get it done in the past?
Yeah, absolutely. When you got a guy like Gardner, a veteran guy that's done it and done it at a high level, it definitely eases that. The guys, like I said, the team has confidence in them, coaches have confidence in them to go out and perform at a high level.
Shane, what is the difference for opposing defenses to get ready for Gardner, knowing he's the guy as opposed to you're preparing for Richardson, and then Gardner comes in the third quarter, does great, but how much of the difference is there going to be for Gardner facing that in the beginning?
I don't know. I can't speak for defenses, to be honest, how they'll play him differently than Anthony.
But I mean, just big picture, as a head coach, you know what it's like.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, obviously they have two different skill sets, but Gardner does a great job of going in and operating, like I said, at a high level and finds completions and moving the ball. Obviously, we move the ball really well, and Gardner's went in there and have a ton of confidence in his abilities.
Shane, is there anything with Anthony that, like, he's 21 years old, his body's not, fully developed, if that's even such a thought? Is that
I can't answer that. I don't know that. I don't know.
What do you remember about your first impression of Gardner when you first met him a couple years ago in Philly?
Just a guy that's passionate about football. When we first met him in Philly, when we signed him, he just came in intact, learned the offense. He came into that first meeting, I remember, in Philly, and he had his surface, and he was just constantly taking notes. Everything we said, taking notes. He learned the system very quickly. He's a football junkie, loves ball, wants to be great. And I think, I've said this when I got hired, but just the obsession with football, with the quarterback position, understanding the scheme, understanding defensive football, where to go with the football, when to go with the football, is a huge factor in his success.
Jim Bob said that he's always coming up with ideas for pass plays and stuff like that. How good are they?
Yeah, they're good. I mean, he sees stuff. Like I said, we said he's like a coach on the field. So when he has ideas, he shows us the look like, hey, I think we got a chance here on this one, and we like it. He likes it. It's usually it.
Where has Josh Downs grown even since he's gotten here? I mean, you saw him grow through college, maybe, but
I think just the repetition of going through, practice, the game weeks, the NFL, getting better. He's constantly working. I've seen him, on off days, catching balls on the jugs machine, just working on his craft. I think the skill level, obviously, with skill, it takes hours and hours of working on your skill, and I think that's how you get better. And if he continues to do that, he's just going to keep rising.
He kind of carries himself with a confidence that I don't feel like I'm talking to a rookie when I talk to him. I mean, does that matter? Do you see that?
Oh yeah, you can see it. I think it's not cockiness; it's confidence. There's a difference there, and he's got a lot of confidence in his ability. And shoot, he goes out and he makes plays on Sundays for us.
Shane, a month into your coaching career, what has surprised you the most about
Surprised? I don't know if I have any surprises right now. Again, I go back to the support that I've been given from Mr. Irsay and the ownership and the coaching staff and this whole organization. I think when you work together as a team and you have a laser focus on what you're trying to get accomplished, I think usually good things happen. But it takes a lot of hard work, and you got to stay on it every single day and not let up.
What did Drew show last week where he got kind of an extended opportunity to play tight end, especially with his hand in the dirt through 20
Yeah, no, shoot, he was powerful at the point of attack. He's doing a little bit of everything for us right now, catching and blocking, but he keeps progressing every week. Obviously he came off that injury, a year ago, and then attack training camp, and then you can see the progression with him just continue to get better every time.
Shane, what is your competitive fighter? What was that birth? I know you're very reserved with us, but I know there's an edge. They kind of come up and put a talk to us. So where did that start for you?
I don't know. I think when I was younger, I had two older brothers that were competitive, played sports, and you're always trying to fight, get to the top with your brothers and be competitive. My parents, raising me, a lot of respect for them and what they've done, but just trying to be the best you can possibly be. You see people, in the world that you keep fighting and grinding and scratching and clawing, and you treat people the right way. Usually, good things will happen, and that's kind of how I go about my life, try to go about my life every single day.
Shane, what role did you play in getting Gardner here? I realize it's not what you do necessarily.
Yeah.
The connection's obvious. So how hard did you push for him? Did you make the initial phone call? What did you do?
Yeah, no, obviously it came up about, bringing in a backup quarterback, and the name got brought up, and Chris asked me about him. I said, heck yeah, he's a heck of a football player. He'd be great to have on the roster. And
The
that's how
running game had some struggles week one, so how big is it to have Zach Moss and JT available for Sundays?
I mean, it's huge. You got two really good backs. Obviously, Zach's running at a high level, and getting JT back with his explosive ability to use both those guys in the backfield will be good. And then obviously the offensive line, the way they're playing right now, they're gelling. Obviously, we're going into week 6, but we got to continue gelling and keep playing together.
Can you expect Bernie to practice today?
Yeah.
What was
Yeah.
your first impression just on tape, watching the offensive line, and just where have you seen progress this season from them?
Again, just going back to the communication and playing together, and I go back to Tony, our line coach, what he's done with those guys. He's a football guy. He understands football. He can relate to the players. The way he talks, the way he coaches, the way he teaches is huge. And obviously a talented offensive line when I got here, and they're playing together right now at a high level, and we got to continue it.
I assume Bernie's still in protocol,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
The Colts haven't won in Jacksonville since 2014. Gardner obviously spent a couple years there. Division matchup, are you sensing like a different attitude so far this week or anything like that?
Yeah, I think you got to treat every week as a new week, and you got to have the same preparation and the same mindset going in every week, no matter what's happened in the past. It's a new year, it's a new game. We got to be ready to go.
Shay, do you expect, I think it was 10 snaps for JT, do you expect that to increase?
Yeah, we're going to ramp him up this week again in practice. Obviously we're going today in pads and keep getting him going.
Shane, about Gardner, he connects more with just the guys in the locker room, he connects with fans too. It was Minshew mania in Jacksonville. What do you think it is about him that connects beyond just here in the building, but also with everyone in the community?
I think he can just relate to everybody. You know what I mean? There's different types of people. He can relate to everybody. Again, going back to his passion, his love for the game, his love for people around this building, outside this building. And I know it'll be big for him to go back to Jacksonville where he started his career. So excited to watch him play on Sunday.
On that last drive of last week's game, they know you're going to run the ball, try to run the ball. What do you think it says about your offensive line when they know what you're going to do and you're still able to do it?
Yeah, no, it's huge. I think when you get into those situations, obviously that big third down that Gardner threw, they brought a blitz zero there and he threw it to Alec. That was a huge play in the game. And then once we got that, we had some, obviously we had momentum there early on with a big play to Zach down the boundary as well. And then we got into that running, and they were all up in there in a zero look, and it was like, hey, we got to go get it. And our guys stepped up to the plate and had that mentality that, we got to go finish this game. And obviously we were this close. We were 1 yard away from, taking a knee before giving it back to them. But to take 7 minutes off the clock there was huge for our offense.
Shane, how's Anthony doing just emotionally now when he's going to miss a chunk?
He's doing good. I've had conversations with him. I'll keep those private, but he's doing all right.
At Shane Steichen, bad news about Anthony Richardson, obviously. Good news about Jonathan Taylor. Good news about Bernard Ryman. Interesting news about him and hearing about how he grew up and how he became competitive and how he understands the value of grinding. Grinding's everything in the NFL. It's a 17-week season. You got to grind your way through it, or you're going to be one of those teams that's on the outside looking in come January.